Welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner podcast. My name is Coach Scott. I'll be your host today. It is Monday, November 29th. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving weekend, a great Thanksgiving day. We had a great time here, got a lot of quality time with family, and really just a great weekend all together. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. I do want to apologize. Last week we put out a podcast. I hadn't done one in quite some time. So I wanted to get one out there. We did a Happy Thanksgiving podcast. The sound quality was just really poor. When I listened back, I couldn't believe how bad the sound quality was. We had moved a whole lot of stuff around here. I must have hit some dials. I am not a tech guy. I'm not a sound guy. I do this all by myself. So it's sometimes, hey, I hit the wrong button. Hopefully we've got some things fixed. I've made some adjustments, and hopefully this is coming through loud and clear and much better this time around. But thank you guys for suffering through the poor quality of the audio in last week's podcast. Hopefully we got it up and fixed this time around. So yeah, I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I talked about sort of putting the MyFitnessPal away and just enjoying yourself, eating the food. I had a really, a solid meal. I went one helping. It was heaping. It was, there was a nice sort of crescent shape to the top of the plate, gravy on top. But I didn't go for seconds. I didn't even go grab any more later. I had one nice sliver, a little more than a sliver. Pumpkin pie, had to do it. But overall, it was a pretty good Thanksgiving in terms of diet, and I felt pretty good coming out of it. That, I didn't overdo it, and I kept myself, it was happy. It was a happy time, and certainly got the food down. It was tasty, put it that way. I enjoyed the food. I enjoyed the food and spent great time with family, so it was all good. Over this past weekend, we did the Ordinary Half Marathon. This is the second year we've done the Ordinary Half. It's sort of an informal race. It's kind of, really we do it for a couple of reasons, I think. One of them is that it's the in-between point of our big race, the Ordinary Marathon, that takes place in May. So, you take May, add 6 months, November, that's where we are now. And what better spot now? Well, I think one of the things that we realized from last year we did this for the first time. We started it on Friday. Really, we should have just started it on Thanksgiving Day. Thanksgiving Day is sort of there's tradition there for a lot of runners that, a lot of turkey trots on Thanksgiving Day. We did one. We got out there and ran our 3.1 miles, a lot of 5Ks. I saw an 8K. I saw a 10K. I know our race also has like a 1 and a 2 mile walk, or 1 or 2 mile walk, in case you don't really feel comfortable running that distance and you just want to walk it. And you want to support charity. We had about 2,000 people come down to run, but yeah, incorporating that into the Ordinary Half Marathon, I think was smart. And now that we've done that this year, we'll probably be doing that in years to come. We had 22 people sign up last year for the Ordinary Half. We had 31 this year. Of course, if you signed up for the informal half marathon, you automatically are registered for the fall race. Really, what you do is you register for the fall race, and you're automatically entered into the half. But a lot of you guys out there getting some good, impressive running done. Some of you guys, Brian ran like an ultra marathon, and Elena ran something crazy. And then some of you guys got up to that 13.1 miles cumulatively. I kind of set sort of a goal to do that as well, to try to get to 13.1. I fell a little short, but I think I had a bigger and better goal that, which was kind of just to start a routine for a lot of reasons, really. Number one, I haven't really been consistent enough with my running over the past few months. And if you guys have listened to the podcast, you know that. The cycling, I'm more consistent with. The running, not very consistent. I go through kind of, I start and I go through a little spurt where I'm good, and then I just fall off the rails and I lose it very quickly. If I don't run for a week or two, it's almost like starting fresh. So it's frustrating. And I really wanted to use this weekend as a sort of a jumping off point to start getting into more of a regular running routine. And in that way, I did sort of do pretty well. I ran the Turkey Trot on Thursday. I ran again on Friday, just a couple miles, 2 miles. And then I skipped Saturday, ran Sunday. Sunday, I needed 8 miles in order to finish in order to finish the half marathon cumulatively. And I actually prepared for it. I thought maybe I'll try to get that done. I brought 2 water bottles. I even brought a gel just in case. I figured I could use a little bit of a kick around mile 6 if I needed it. And I tell you, I got on that treadmill and I started running last night. And I just hit this point where things started bothering me. I had a little pain in the foot. I had a little tightness in the quad, and my back started really getting sore. And I kind of had to make a decision. Is this something that you really need to push in order to achieve? Is this something that you really want so badly that you're willing to risk injury? And I think the coach in me kind of, just said, hey, you know what? It's not smart. Let's run the 5K, which I did. I ran another 3.1 miles. I stopped at that point. I feel good that I ran 3 out of 4 days. That's a good sort of regular routine. And now hopefully I can use that to say, I think the important thing is making the time, making the effort to get the sneakers on, to get ready, to get dressed, to come down to the treadmill, especially now as we go into the winter. And most of my training is going to be indoors. And really, I don't train a lot outdoors at all during the winter. Some of that may change, but we'll talk about that in future podcasts. Anyway, just sort of getting to that regular indoor routine now and trying to implement more of that. Now, I have some other things coming down the pike we'll talk about towards the end, but now I felt really good that I achieved that out of 4 days, I ran 3. Let's just call it, hopefully, a good start. That would be great for what it is. Now, one of the things that I love about the Ordinary Half is really, it's because of the informal nature of it and because it's more about the support. It's more about the community. And you guys were out there, you guys were running. I got to check to see if I have enough pictures. There weren't a lot of pictures this time around. I want to see if I have enough pictures to go around and do another slideshow. If I do, I'll try to turn that out in the next couple of weeks. I know I'll be much better at it this time than I was, for the last one. It took me a long time to get out, but, if I have enough pictures, we'll definitely try that. But, one other big thing that happened over the last 4 days. Now, the Ordinary Marathoner Foundation, which we talked about at length last podcast, we have our sort of the culmination of our first participant in our Running for Autism program, henceforth to be known as the Actually Autistic Athletes program. Jonah Papovich and his family, really, his mom Maureen in particular, they trusted us. They had a lot of faith in us that we could bring to their son a really great running program and help him out athletically, which we hoped would also help out in other ways as well. Jonah went out there on Thanksgiving, and this was his goal race to run the 5K. And he's been training for about 5 months under Coach Brianna Rowling from Sega Multisport. And, it was a little nerve-wracking for me. I got to be honest. I know I'm taking it. Just make the story about me. It was a little nerve-wracking for me because I didn't know how he was going to do. I was hoping he was going to do well. I was hoping that all the work that that we did as a foundation, that he'd done as an athlete, all the training. I was hoping that it was going to come to a successful finish. And it did in so many ways. Now, a lot of you guys have seen the news report from local news station KVUE in Austin, Texas, by a guy named Jake Garcia. Jake did an amazing job. We talked about this, that we knew that this was coming out. I was shocked actually at the turnaround that he actually produced this segment, in a few hours once he got all the footage from the race day. And Jake actually went down there and ran the race himself. He participated in the race, which I thought was a very classy thing to do. So they all went down, and I got to tell you, if you haven't seen the report, check it out, because I tell you, when you start something like this and you start a foundation, you want to make a positive impact, and you want to see that you're doing good things. And watching this report was just, man, I tell you, I woke up on Friday morning knowing that the report had come out the night before. We didn't have access to it. We didn't have access to Austin TV. Also, it's late at night here. I think it was going to be on the 10 o'clock news, so it was going to be well after 11 o'clock until it came on, and we were just exhausted on Thanksgiving Day. Steph and I fell asleep, and we didn't see the report till about 6 o'clock in the morning the next day, and we woke up and we watched it, and man, a little bit of tears, probably tears in the good way. Definitely, a lot of butterflies, and what a great story. I want to thank Jake for putting that together for us. I've been sharing it around, so you guys have probably seen it if you're in touch with the community. If not, I'll definitely have it in the description on both on the YouTube video. I'll put the link there on the YouTube video and also on the podcast description as well, so you can check it out for yourself if you haven't. But Jonah finished this race in 26 minutes, which is incredibly fast for a 15-year-old doing his first ever 5K. And the look on his face and the interviews that he did with Jake, the look on his face as he ran, the comments made by his mother about how the program helped him, and really just Jonah's overall demeanor and the way he carried himself. I met this kid on a Zoom call about 6 months ago. And he was kind of fidgety and it was kind of hard for him to pay attention. And, just like any 15, any 14, he was 14 at the time. But to see his demeanor as he answered Jake's questions in this interview, I know that this program helped this kid out more than just teaching him how to run. Now we're going to be doing a podcast later this week with Jonah and with Scott Frasard and Jonah's mother, Maureen. We're going to do a podcast together and we'll have that out to you hopefully soon. But it tugs the heartstrings for sure to see how far this kid's come. It really has. And I can't wait to speak to him and his mom about his experience with it, and really to talk about how we can continue to develop this program and make it more available to others. We have opened up the application process for the next round of participants. So again, it's our Actually Autistic Athletes program. I think the minimum age we set was 14, so you have to be at least 14 years old. We've kind of released the cap, so you can be, there's no age restriction on the top end. You could be 95. As long as you're autistic and you want to participate in the program and you think it will help you, fill out an application and let us know. Again, we're trying to help you out by providing equipment and providing some guidance via coaching and help you set a goal and then train for that goal. And I tell you, one of the things that I think was sort of unsung in this whole thing, and one of the benefits to this program that I think I never really realized in the beginning, is that I think that, some kids are just not cut out for, or not, I don't want to say cut out for, because I think they're tough enough necessarily, but they just don't want to participate in group sports. And there could be a lot of reasons for that. It could just be peer pressure, and it could be involving grades or academics not being up to par to meeting the minimum requirements or whatnot. But I really feel like this sport is just sort of open to anyone and any athletic ability level, right? You could be slow and just and look to just try to get faster, try to run further. You don't have to be a top-notch athlete in order to participate in a lot of these races, a lot of running races. You can do a lot. You can still do a lot. And this program, I think, brings that concept to a whole segment of the population that really needs and can benefit from experiencing it. So I love this program. I love that we're continuing this program. I hope that we're able to expand it. And really, one of the things that I truly believe is, and I was sending out a lot of video this past week, right? I was sending the video out to a lot of folks. And what I firmly believe is, if you've donated to the foundation, if you've helped spread the word about the foundation, you are certainly partly responsible for helping Jonah experience this, and helping our run clinic, for that matter, that we finished our 5K on Halloween. You guys are just as part of it as I am. Now, I know we do a lot of the work, we do a lot of the legwork behind the scenes, but we could not do this without the funding. We could not do it. So I thank you. And it makes a difference, because when you make a donation, that money is your time. That's your time spent at work. That's your savings, or that whatever that is. That's money that you could use to spend elsewhere on family things, on things for others. But instead, you entrust us to take it and do something good with it. And I hope that we've lived up to those expectations. And I do believe with my entire soul that without you guys, that you guys are just as much of a part of this as I am. And I hope you guys feel that way. I sent some emails out. I said, hey, check, you helped us. Thank you. We couldn't have done it without you. And I got some responses that said things like, hey, I really didn't have anything to do with this, And I get it. Some people are just doing that to be polite. but I got to be honest, I feel that way. I do feel like we're all in this together, and I thank all of you guys for your donations. Obviously, today is Monday. Tomorrow is Giving Tuesday. Tomorrow, November 30th, is this year's Giving Tuesday. I think usually it's this December, but our goal this year on Giving Tuesday is to raise $3,000, which is that's a big goal for us. I think to date we've raised about $7,000. So we're trying to kind of raise about 50% what we've done all year. We're trying to raise in one day, and we're kind of hoping to do that with your help. Now, again, I understand that we've been asking a lot lately. You sold the hoodies are great though. Come on. The hoodies are great. The hoodies went out. A lot of you guys bought hoodies. We appreciate that support. A lot of you guys have participated in the Ordinary Half Marathon. You registered for the Ordinary Marathon in May, and you added additional donations to that, and we love you guys for it. Thank you so much. If you're at this point where you're sick of us and you don't want to hear from us, and maybe you don't want to hear, but you just you feel like you've done a significant amount offered a significant amount of help already, and I get it. You don't always want to write those checks, but you can help in other ways. Spread the word for us. Share our posts on social media. Get some other people involved. Ask your friends. Tell them that that we're doing great work. Show them the video that we got from Jonah. Spread the word. Let people know that we're doing really good work here, and we could use the support, and we can use that support to then expand the programs that we've got going on. We've got a lot of plans for the new year, and hoping to get a lot of things done for next year. So I do thank you in advance for that, and I love it. I love this group, and I love all the support that we get from you guys. So thank you, and hope to get a little more support on Giving Tuesday this year. But thank you so much. I know you guys, some of you are like sick and tired of hearing it, but we're doing good things at least, so I don't feel like I'm overdoing it here. Moving on to some training. I want to talk a little bit about training. I got to go pick up my daughter soon, so I'm rushing through the podcast. Training's been a little rough for me. Obviously, with my weight's gone up. I can always tell if things are good or bad. Sort of like the weight is a good metric for me to find out. And I've gained some weight in the last month, and it's bothering me because just before that I was losing. I felt like I was on a good path, and I dropped a few pounds, then I gained them all back, and then I gained back a little bit more. That was one of the reasons I really needed to get this running in gear for the Ordinary Half Marathon, and I feel like I did. I feel like I've started something good. Another reason is the thing that starts today, which is our Zwift event. It's kind of an informal event as well. We're basically going to try, there's 100 courses on the Zwift platform. We're going to try to ride every single course this winter. So by the end of March 31st will be the last ride. The first ride will start today. And I sent out an invite for people to do a group ride with us, and a lot of you guys responded, and you're going to meet with us. So I'm very excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to getting out there and riding, getting these first ones down, trying to find a rhythm, because it is 5 or 6 rides a week, so it's a lot of work. I'm going to be coupling that with at least 2 or 3 runs per week as well, and trying to kind of get that swimming back in as we go as well. At least 1 swim per week, two runs, 5 or 6 rides, and 1 swim. That's kind of the goal on a weekly basis for me for my training heading into the new year. Now, this riding is right now, we're going to start with sort of in some of the easier courses, and it is going to build up significantly over the next few months. Now, there are some Zwift courses that are epic and just going to take hours and hours to get done. The longest course is called the PRL Full. It is done in our London map, in the Zwift London map, and it is 107 virtual miles. Now, the furthest I think I've gone is about 60 miles indoors. So that one it's already kind of knocking me out mentally. But the hope is, as we build momentum into these rides and as they get harder and harder, and I build up that endurance, that maybe by the time I get to the PRL Full, I'll have that head screwed on straight and be able to attack that. There are a lot of, probably like 3 or 4 courses on Zwift that I have not done yet, that are epically long. We are going to be getting those later in the year, and I'm kind of psyched about it, and I'm kind of nervous about it because I don't think I've been on a bike more than 3 or 4 hours indoors, and I don't know how long those rides are going to take me, but they're probably going to take me longer than that. So we'll see how it goes as this progresses. But if you want to get involved, and if you're on the Zwift platform and you'd like an invitation, let me know. Starts tonight, 8:30 p.m. Now, if you can't make our group rides and you still want to attack this daunting task ahead of us. Go over to the Team Ordinary page on Facebook. You can download the whole schedule. We have every day is a new ride. Every day is a new course. If you can't do the group ride with us, you can try to do it on your own. Try to get a small group together for yourself if you want to kind of divvy up the workload there and do it in keep everyone together mode. Which does help. It helps. It does make it a little bit easier. And I don't think it's cheating, but it, just so you guys know, that does make it a little bit easier. It makes it a little more palatable though, riding with your friends and being able to kind of do it together. So we're going to attack that starting tonight, 8:30 p.m. If you can't make it tonight, but you want to be involved, ride it on your own, or just kind of write that course down, set it to the side, and try to make it up later on, and just meet us at the next ride. Now, these rides scheduled Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, going to be 8:30 p.m. Eastern time for the most part. Thursday's rides are going to be our normal trivia rides. Those will be at 6:35 p.m. Eastern. And then the weekend rides, I got to be honest, I don't know when they're going to be. That's going to be kind of based on my schedule. I know that sounds selfish, but I got to get hours together in order to make this happen. And again, if you can't make my schedule, it might be early in the morning. It might be like 6 a.m. rides. And if that's going to happen, some of you guys may not want to do that. Set your own group rides. Do it all. Do it all on your own. Try to get a group that can do it at a time when you can do it. And let's get this done, guys. It's always better to kind of attack an epic challenge together with others and kind of get that support in the group. And let me know if you'd like an invite to our group ride. That being said, we are ready to do some epic stuff as we exit November into December. Remember, Giving Tuesday. Help us out if you can. We could really use all the assistance you can, even if it's just spreading the word out there, sharing our Facebook posts and sharing our Twitter posts, getting the word out there, and trying to get some people connected to the foundation. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love any support we can get. And remember, every day is an ordinary day unless you make it extraordinary. So thanks, guys.